What's up guys? Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2021 Colony Endeavour. So recently I've been on a Colony kick. I've been really studying a lot of the Colony bikes, trying to figure out, hey, are these actually any good? Because I've been riding Colony parts for a very long time, had a lot of success with them, only broke one thing, and I've been riding them for years, right? But I'm not too sure about the complete bike. So I've been taking a deep dive into the complete bike, studying their specs, ranking them on the Dougsterbob score sheet, and giving them, just figuring out how these bikes are. So we're gonna dive deep into the Endeavour. We're gonna see if this is a good bike for you. Is it worth the price? What kind of issues you might run into, and everything you need to know about it. So let's get right into the video. So the Endeavour only comes in one color. It comes in a dark gray polished color with a 21-inch top tube. Now this bike is very, very expensive. It's $789, ranking it up there with expensive bikes like the Sunday Soundwave, the Sunday Street Sweeper, the Kink Cloud, the Kink Williams, all of those really high-end bikes. The Endeavour is put up there with those expensive bikes because of this crazy price range. But as I was studying it, I found out it really is worth the price because of the aftermarket parts. It even has 48 spline cranks. Like, not many complete bikes come with 48 spline cranks. We're going to talk about quality in a minute, but for now, that's really all you need to know. $789, one color option, 21-inch top tube. This is a cool bike. This is a really cool bike. So the frame is a full chromoly frame. The rims are both double wall, the forks are full chromoly, the bars are full chromoly. This is a really strong bike. You're going to want to choose a bike with full chromoly if you're a mid-level rider or higher, because once you graduate to some mid-level tricks like 360s, 540s, tail whips, bar spins, backflips, I guess that's a high-level trick, but still, once you're doing these more technical, more advanced tricks, you need a bike that's strong enough to withstand to that level of riding. I also recommend full chromoly bikes like this for riders who are over 200 pounds, maybe even over 180. So I weigh 210 pounds, and anytime I'm on a high tensile steel bike, it does not last for me. That extra weight put on the materials, it just doesn't hold up very good. So if you plan to ride for a while, you're gonna wanna make sure you get a bike like this with full chromoly. Sadly, it doesn't come with pegs, but it comes with 3 hub guards. It comes with a hub guard on the front right, the front left, and then the rear non-drive side. It doesn't come with a drive side hub guard. So if you plan to grind on that side, then you need to figure that out. You need to find a universal hub guard. And this bike weighs 24.7 pounds. This is a fairly good weight. Most bikes under 25 are considered pretty lightweight. Usually Colony's bikes have weird top tube sizes like 20.7 or 20.4, just oddball ones that don't go up in 0.25 increments. Like most BMX bikes go up 20.00, 20.25, 20.5. And most of the Colony bikes are like 20.4, 20.7, 20.6, just really weird numbers. This one, the Endeavour, does not come in like a weird increment. It comes in a 21. So the 21-inch top tube is for a tall rider. I'm 6'4". I'm gonna ride a 21-inch top tube. But if you're curious if this is the right size for you, just Google Dougsterbob size guide, and it tells you which size you need and how different sizes are gonna affect your riding. Because I could ride a 20.75 being 6'4", it's just gonna feel really, really responsive. So you need to look into that and see how this bike is gonna feel with your style of riding and your height. So check that out. The chainstay size is 20.25 inches. And the chainstay is 20.25 inches. This is longer than normal. This is gonna give you a controlled feeling back end. So spins aren't gonna be as easy as they would be on a 12.75 inch chainstay, but they're not gonna be as hard as they would on like the Cult Devotion with a 12.6 inch chainstay. They're gonna be a little bit less responsive, but not super sluggish, if that makes any sense. It's also going to be kind of hard to get into manuals, but your balance point's going to be bigger, so you're going to have an easier time controlling the manuals. The head tube angle is 75.2 degrees. Most head tube angles are at 75 degrees, so this extra 0.2 degrees is going to make it a teeny tiny bit steeper. Honestly, you're not going to notice a difference between 75 degree inch head tube angle and the 75.2 degree inch head tube angle. Like, the difference there is just so minuscule you won't notice it. And the standover height's going to be 9 inches. This is a pretty average standover height. So now let's talk about the Dougsterbob scores. This is a scoring system that I developed to rank bikes based on how good they are for street, park, dirt, how good their quality is, and kind of their overall value. If you want to get this score sheet, it has over 80 different bikes on it. You can check it out. You can compare the bike you're looking at to a different bike and see which one's better for your style of riding. All you have to do is click the link up here in the description and fill out your name, your email address, and I will send that score sheet over to you, so that you can compare a million different bikes. Actually only 80, not a million, but 80 plus. Anyway, if you want to get that and check it out, do it in the description. Otherwise, let's talk about the Endeavor's Dougsterbob scores. In street, the Endeavour scored a 5. 5 out of 10 is pretty solid. It means this bike is okay for street. Now, it would do better if it had a free coaster and if it came with pegs, but it does come with hub guards, so that's pretty solid. All you're going to need to do is purchase the pegs separately, upgrade the pegs on there, and you have a pretty solid bike. This also scored the 5 because it's built really well for withstanding big drops and big gaps that you're going to find in the street. If you're riding like Sean Burns, you definitely want a bike that can withstand dropping off of roofs, and this bike is able to do that because the quality is really strong. So the Colony Endeavour scored a 4 in the park section. This is again a fairly decent park score. The reason that it scored this is that it comes with gyro tabs, so you can purchase a gyro separately and throw that on the bike. Then you can just do tail whips forever without your brake getting tangled up. You could do bar spins forever, and that's really cool. It's also fairly responsive. The head tube angle is a little bit steeper than normal, and it's going to feel a tiny bit more responsive. Also because the 25mm offset on the forks, your front end's going to respond to turns really fast. The last thing is the tires are going to do half decent in park, so that's pretty much why it scored a 4. It's an okay park bike, but it's not super park specific. In the dirt section, it also scored a 4. That longer chainstay is going to give you a little bit more stability and a little bit more control in dirt. Having a cassette helps it out, because if it had a free coaster, it would score really low in dirt, because free coasters are a dirt rider's worst enemy. Unless you're Pat Casey. But for the most part, you don't want to ride dirt with a free coaster. This one, again, is going to be pretty okay for riding dirt, but not perfect. One thing that's really cool about those 3 scores is they're really close together. So if you're not sure what type of riding you want to do, like let's say you are just getting into the sport and you ride a little park and you're like, I kind of like that. I ride a little street, I kind of like that too. Dirt's also fun. Then this would be a good bike for you, because you can go around and do all 3. You're not going to shoot yourself in the foot by getting a bike that's specific in one direction and then have a hard time riding the other discipline. So this is good for well-rounded riders like that. And the quality score, this is one of the most important things. This bike scored a 7. 7's relatively high because it has full chromoly frame, forks, and bars, double wall rims. It's just really solid. It's made from almost the strongest material you can get. The only difference here, or the only way it could score better, is if it had an aftermarket frame, forks, and bars, because the level of quality that they put in those aftermarket parts is going to just be a lot stronger than the general frame, forks, and bars that come with full chromoly. However, this is a really strong bike, and it comes with some aftermarket upgrades. It comes with 48 spline cranks, which is sick. It comes with aftermarket stem and a bunch of different aftermarket parts. So the quality here is really high, especially for the price you're paying. When you compare all of the other 2022 bikes, you're like, oh my God, bikes are expensive, and $800 is a lot, but compared to what you're paying for some of the newer Sunday models and what you're actually getting, this is a solid choice. Now, a couple similar options, if you're kind of torn between this bike, you should check out the Kink Williams. It's going to be about $100 more, but it is going to be have a free coaster, be more street specific, and a little bit better quality. You can also check out the Sunday Street Sweeper. The quality on this is going to be a little bit lower, and it's actually going to be a little more expensive, but the color is pretty dope. So check those 2 out if you're still not sure about the Endeavour. Now, I want to talk about some of the potential issues that you might face if you scoop up the Colony Endeavour. And normally I have a full list of issues, but for this bike, I can't really think of very many. This is a pretty high price point, so if you have to like sell your favorite piece of jewelry to buy this bike, that would kind of suck. But that's really all I can think of. Like, this is an expensive bike, but the quality you're getting, it's well-rounded. I think it's a great choice. So I don't foresee any potential issues. Now I want to describe who the perfect person for the Colony Endeavour is. Ideally, you're gonna be pretty tall. You're gonna be perfect for that 21-inch top tube size. Around 6 foot to 6'2" is usually the people who ride 21-inch. You're gonna be well-rounded. So you're riding a little bit of park, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of street. You're riding everything and seeing what you enjoy the most, and you're still testing it out. Like, you're not a hardcore street rider, you're just testing it out. You're figuring out what you like. You have a good amount of money, right? You have about $800 set aside to scoop up this bike. And like I said, you like riding everything. You're also riding at a mid to high level. You have a good bag of tricks, and you need a bike that's going to be strong enough to withstand that level of riding that you've finally achieved. Now, one of the most important questions is, would I recommend this bike? And the answer is yes. If you guys have watched all of my reviews, you know sometimes I say no, I would not recommend this bike. But this is one that I hands down would recommend if you have the budget for it. The quality is incredible. Getting a complete bike with full chromoly, double wall rims, and 48 spline cranks doesn't happen very often. I mentioned the Sunday Street Sweeper being a little bit more expensive and a little bit lower quality. It has cheap 8-piece cranks that are not very good, while the Endeavour comes with the 48 spline aftermarket cranks. So this is just incredible. And for that same price point, it's a crazy deal. I would definitely recommend it as long as the 21-inch top tube's right. If you're 4'10", this would be a terrible choice for you, and I wouldn't recommend it because you're gonna have a hell of a time riding with a 21-inch top tube being that short. But assuming you're the right size for it, I would definitely recommend this bike. So if that sounds good to you and you're like, you know what, this is the right bike for me, I want you to click the link in the description. I'm gonna say buy it from here, and wherever that link takes you is gonna be the cheapest place that I found it in stock for. Now, some bikes are completely sold out everywhere, but I'm gonna send you to the cheapest place. It's probably gonna be Dan's Comp. I just see some shops charging way too much, and I don't want you guys to get ripped off. So if you come across a spot that has it cheaper than the link that I send you to, let me know in the comments so we can help your fellow BMX riders out. But for now, where I put that link, that's gonna be the cheapest place. And if you decide this is the right bike for you, go grab it from there. Now, if you're not sure still, if you're like, hey, I don't know if this is the right bike for me, I want you to fill out the free bike recommendation. Again, link in the description, link on the screen. Click it, put in your name, your email address, your budget, your height, your skill level. I'll look at all that information and I'll send you a PDF with 3 bikes that I think are perfect for you. Then all you have to do, fill that out, click it, boom, perfect bike for you. It's that simple. It takes me about a day though, so be patient, but I really encourage you to do that. Otherwise, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you for being a part of the community, and I can't wait for you to find the perfect BMX bike and get to shredding. So have a good day. Thanks. Yo, so you're still watching the video. I wanted to ask you a question. Has this channel helped you out? Have you gotten any value from me? If the answer is yes, I want you to consider taking your support to the next level. You could get a Dougsterbob hat, a Dougsterbob shirt, or even hit that donation link in the description. You have no idea how much it helps me. With those donations and that support, I'm able to create higher quality content that helps grow the sport of BMX. We all love BMX, we know why that's important. Thank you so much for being an awesome subscriber and a part of the Dougsterbob community.